This is kvci.blogspot.com, on YouTube, Boston G.B.R. We are in Valdosta, Georgia, and we are down here with the historic Mayor Sonny Vickers and John Robinson, my sidekick, compadre, brother, and friend. And we just thought we'd sit down and do something that we never had an opportunity to do before. And we are happy to be here on this day, just a few days before Thanksgiving 2011. How you doing, my beautiful brother, Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, fine, sir.
My brother, how are you doing this morning?
Just fine, just fine. Mr. Vickers, it's indeed a pleasure,
Yes, sir.
honor,
Yes,
and
sir.
a privilege to be here with you this morning, for you to consider to take the time to give us this moment to come in and sit down and hold a conversation, especially a person of your importance and as busy that you are here in a city like this. We take it as a personal pride, You know, you being, not trying to be funny or anything, but you being the first black mayor in the city of Valdosta out of 152 years.
Yeah.
This is a statement. And you know, we was praying and was hoping, and I was really disappointed because you wasn't in the running position. You know,
Yeah.
with all your expertise and professionalism that you bring, and the professionalism that you have always brought for the community as a whole, not just one side,
Yeah.
but in general.
Yeah.
You know, it's appreciated.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's a position I didn't pursue. My fellow councilman drafted me.
Yes, sir.
And you know, a lady told me, she said, when God opens a door,
Yes, sir.
you just have to walk through it.
Yes, sir.
And I can truly say that I didn't seek this position, but I think it's an honor when your fellow councilman says, and there was others that was willing to step in,
Right.
but your fellow councilman said to me, no, we want you. So then I had to answer the call, and I really have enjoyed it. And I haven't had any problem. That, you know, as you stated, I've been around City Hall for about 23 years.
Yes, sir.
So I know my way around, and I have had tremendous support from council members, the city administrator, and support from the community.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, there's no doubt that you are the right man. And there's no doubt in none of our minds that God opened that door.
Yeah.
And the timing is right.
Yeah. It has been a great experience.
Mr. Vickers, Mayor Vickers, how do you feel about the state of race relations in the city? Do you think we have come a long ways? I personally see a lot of changes myself.
Oh,
But
yeah.
you've been here a long time, because I was stationed at Moody in '75, and I often talk to you about this. I watched how you turned from a militant advocate, activist to a statesman. Yeah, and I saw that. I've seen that. And then for them to give you so much credibility and respect as the man with the wisdom on the council.
Yeah.
How do you see the overall picture of Valdosta along a race relation, being truthful?
Well, let me address my transformation, I suppose. You know, when I first come on council, you know, I'm a long way from what I used to be.
Right.
But you know, I contributed some to a former mayor, G.B.R, and I contributed some to Ms. Jean Anderson, who was the city clerk and city manager, secretary, and some other individuals in the community. Root Council has been a big influence on me, and Floyd Rose has been a big influence on me. And sometimes him and I don't see eye to eye on an issue, but most of the time, you know, I tell people with Floyd, very rarely him and I disagree with him on the issue, man. I disagree with him how to handle
Right, the approach.
the approach.
I agree.
But now, you know, I come to realize folks used to say the same thing about me, you know. But everybody have their own style, you know, that they see that is effective, you know. And so what he does is effective for him, and what I do is effective for me.
Yes, sir.
And when I first elected, former Mayor G.B.R came by and talked to me. He was a very successful mayor and state representative. But he told me when you go to the table, very rare that you get everything you go there for.
Yeah, right.
But he said, get you a piece of it, and then come back and try to get you another piece, you know. And over time, I mean, that stayed with me, you know. And the next thing about Mrs. Jean Anderson that I carried with me, I had kind of blowed up in council meeting, and I came into office one day and wasn't nobody there but her, and we had a good relationship, and she would, some people would come in and have certain problems, and she would whisper and tell them to call me, and I would, you know, so they'll call me, and I know that I talk to them a little while. I know she the one told them to call me, you know. But what she said to me was this. She says, now you blow up in council meeting and call people names, and then you turn right around and ask them to help you with something.
That was a renaissance for you. That was a change.
She said, now if I'm talking too much out of turn, you tell me. She said, but you got such a feel for the people. Said, so you need to kind of affect your skills. She gave me a good talk. And you know, I didn't fully grasp everything she said when she said it, but over time, it just okay, you know, cause it's all about relationship. You have to learn, then you have to build relationships, then you have to support a council member that has an issue that is important to them, but may not be important to you, but it's important to them.
Right.
You know. And you just learn, you learn that you got to talk to one another.
Okay, so it's a give and take, but what I have noticed since you took over as mayor, I have seen the atmosphere at the city council meeting just totally change. It's more warm. It's more. It's good. It's good. Now I'm gonna change the subject a little bit before we close this out and let Doc Robinson say something. But I filmed on Oak Street Extension. I was a fearful 6-car back when that man got ran over out there. You heard about that, right?
Yeah.
Got ran over by 2 vehicles.
Yeah.
And I got it on YouTube. But a man working in there cutting grass said to me that the city had 3 combs up there where that hole is. And that they took 2 of them down. There's only one up there, and grass had grown up through one of the combs. And I went out there the other day and I looked at it, and from me looking at it, and I saw the body was there too. What is the city doing in terms of trying to make that more safer? Now, what I mean by that is that at least I believe some cones need put back up there, because I've seen at least 2 cars run down in that gully since I've been here. And I don't know whether I don't know whether the city or county might be the county. I don't know. I don't know if city limits. I don't think city limits go out there for you, does it?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Okay, but anyway, somebody take a chance.
When you get it and get around that curve, see, that wasn't an island,
right?
Okay, and I know you live, don't you live?
Right, I live right past
okay, so you all didn't come into the city.
No, we're not in the city. The whole subdivision.
So yeah. So I think there is in the county.
Okay, but anyway, what I would like to do, Mr. Mayor, is find out somebody to take a look at that with some type of concern, because we may be able to avoid another accident. Somebody needs to put us on. And that guy fell. There was a hole almost inches from the road.
Mm-hmm.
And the lady said, I was there when she was distraught, you know, and it definitely was an accident.
Well, once we finish with this, we can find out it is in the city or in the county, and then you know if it's in the city, we can have some conversation with traffic on it.
Okay.
And I would think if it was in the city that they were already made some moves on it, but we'll find out.
Okay, all right. Well, we won't dwell on that. But I just want to bring it to attention. Yeah, okay.
And I want to say this, because I want you to know this straight from me. I will never do anything with my action to put a stain on the term that you have in it.
Yeah.
I raised some issues. I know you.
But let me see, and you mentioned this about the fourth time that you said this. I don't have no problem about the issue that you raised. Okay. And
do y'all know how to direct that, brother?
I don't have no problem about the issue, and I don't take them. I won't take them personally.
Okay.
I take them as an issue that you care about, and you're trying to get something done on it. And I don't have no problem.
This why it hurts me that you
tell you.
Now,
let me tell you what. I've been proud of a lot of things that we have accomplished over the years.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, one of the things that I'm not as happy about, and that is minority participation in doing business with the city. Mm-hmm. But now, I don't see, I see where there's some room for some improvement on both sides.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, some years ago, when we first got splosh and what have you, what we was doing, the water plant or something, that we were able to get a mason contractor, brick contractor, do some work in there. And later on, now my memory is sharp on this, but later on, sometime or another, some contractors somewhere filed a suit, and it came out about you couldn't, certain things you had to do to meet some guidelines and all that, you know, which I know you all are familiar with. And this was one of the things that Councilman Bernice Williams was good at. Now, that was one of his pet peeves, along with promotion. Now, what you see now, where the city at with minorities here and there and them that. Well, when I look at it, I see Bernice Williams. When I look at it, I see Bernice Williams. You know, and I remember when we were gonna hire G.B.R over there. I told Bernie, I said, Bernie, you know what? It was so radical over there to the fire department. I told Bernie, I said, Bernie, if I had any enemy, I wouldn't throw them over there to that fire department.
It was that bad, Doc.
It was that bad over there.
These are words of the mayor now.
Yeah. But anyhow, he persisted in working with everybody, what have you. And I tell you what, Chief Rice has done a tremendous job over there with the support of the city manager and council members. But I remember that, you know. But back to one of the things that I have a problem conceding or visualizing at some like construction work. Some of these jobs and what have you, I don't see nobody in the minority community around here. And I remember several, I don't know, maybe several months ago, or sometimes 7 months, 7 weeks look like 7 months to me as I get older. But I asked them to give me the list
Yes.
from
VSAN.
from VSAL. And I looked at the names on there and the name of the companies and you know, so one of the things it's hard for you for, you know, if it's concrete work and if it's a big job, it's hard for you to compete against
That's fine.
and bonding and this kind of thing.
Yes, sir.
So it's a number one thing.
You is so absolutely right, and you're dead on it. And then when you look at the list, you don't see the names you need to find on that you plug in.
That you plug in.
And the thing is, we understand that, and we got the old historical times and where just life, the bad weather storm done beat a lot of them down and trying to get back and trying to.
Well, a lot of them done died. Oh, now let me tell you what. We used to have more blacks, minority, in some kind of little contractor, whether it was bricklayer, concrete,
Yes, sir.
construction. I mean, but those guys dead.
Yes, sir.
And they didn't pass. And it's a young crew.
But you know what we find out there, we got some out there. We're gonna be bringing them to you. And the thing of it is, you bring about a warmness, okay, that make it workable, and it brings in a good understanding for us all. And this is when God opened that door for you to step through, and He shot His timing right. Okay, it might not be a great deal of time, but at least it's getting it's gonna set a platform where we can get the understanding and get the help we need and get people involved. And it take a mind like you have and with the understanding of knowing what it's like and make it work.
But we gonna have to get a piece of this pie. You're gonna have to. We gonna have to put the folk. Got to have people there that can do the work.
That's right.
Then we can make. Then we can go and make the case.
That's
You're right.
And the time to make the case, you guys, is when we trying to get the finance mechanism in place.
Yeah,
Not after it done got there and got approved.
Amen.
But now you got to we got to bring folks to the table.
Yes.
Who can do the job?
Absolutely. Qualification, I agree.
No, because sometimes I'm confused. Sometimes at your remarks at council when I just got through looking at the list. I mean, I wonder who you talking about.
What we doing? We've been sitting down with Mr. Hanson and we've been working with him, and a lot of this stuff you'd be unaware of. And we working with them now with a host of contractors trying to help get them certified so they can get on that.
That's what we got.
And there's one thing, Mr. Mayor, too, that we need to mention, that fact that a lot of these trades were passed on to the children and grandchildren, but they've been beat down so long until they feel like they can't get into that system, get the funding that they need. So a lot of them just folded up. Not only blacks, but poor whites too have told us when we sit down at getting coffee, they went out of business on that level. But before we close this out, and you come back in a minute, let me say this here, is that I got a personal question I want to ask you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay.
How do you think being the mayor for these last few months, gonna impact you as a councilman now? I've got a feeling that this just may make you even I don't just being on the inside. So my question is, do you think this will impact you as a councilman in any way?
I'm sure, but you know what? I tried to impact the mayor's office from a city council point.
I believe you.
Okay. Now, I think I have developed some pretty good rapport in council with the citizens and city employees and what have you. And I have observed the mayors in the last several years, and I try to do my job as mayor like I thought it ought to be when I was sitting over there as a councilman looking. So this is what I have tried to do, and you know, we have had a lot of fun in council meetings when I remember attending the council did your wife? I said, are you gonna make all of this down, man? You know, and she said, well, if they gonna let me, I'm gonna do it. So I turned around and cut a little joke, and we laugh about it. So I try to bring my city council skills over to the mayor's office and what have you. That's what I try to do.
This is kvci.blogspot.com. In the process, we just want to keep you informed because that's what we do. I want to thank you, Brother John Robinson, for being with us. I want to thank you, Mr. Mayor, for giving us this great opportunity to interview you, and we will have it on YouTube because that's what we do. I just want to get you sitting behind that desk, Mr. Mayor, if I could. And Brother Robinson, you have a question?
Yes, sir. I would like to say this, and I'm going to stand up for this.
Okay.
And I want to say this. I'm going to work as hard as we possibly can, regardless of what, to help bring about some change so that we can have some monies and funding on the south side and help you develop the city.
Yeah. Now on the south side, what we need to do,
yes, sir.
We need, sometimes it sounds like we saying that we need some other folks to come over there and do something. But now, why is it that we can't go over there and do it?
All right, I hear
okay.
You. I hear
now we need to come up with a project.
Yes, sir.
That we feel that can be sustained over there, and then we turn and try to find the resources that to do it and put the deal together.
Yes, sir.
And we don't need to be saying all the time, I want somebody need to come. We need to go. We need to go do it.
I hear that.
Now that's what we need to do now.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Y'all heard it. kvci.blogspot.com. George Boster Rhyme doing what we do. Bye-bye. We're gone.